Hey there, neighbor. Welcome back.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
This is Janina.
I'm Haley.
It's Julia.
And this week we're talking about friendship.
Female friendship specifically.
Yes, because girl power.
Yes.
We love women supporting women, girls supporting girls. We're going to talk about it like
So it's
starting
well, actually.
from like the beginning of like our lives and like walking through how it's just evolved over the years. So we're going to take it back to elementary school, I guess, which I guess I can go first because I'm the oldest. Because I feel like I didn't know you guys when I was little because of the age gap.
We didn't
not
exist yet.
Yeah, not that we're like super far apart in age, but like I don't even know if like you had like officially moved into town yet when I was like little like that.
Yeah.
We
moved here in 2000.
Okay, so yeah, you were definitely there, but we hadn't like been playing together yet, which I get because it's like
walking.
2.
Yeah, I was like 4.
Yeah.
No, not even. I was 2 in 2000. Anyways, besides the point. So, elementary school, my friends were all just whoever was in pre-K, let's be real. So, yeah, I would just play with people at school, and at home, I would just play with my brothers. Like, I feel like I didn't have real female friends, but then as you guys got older, and we at least would, like, talk to each other through the fence. Like, we hadn't actually played together yet, but we were having conversations.
We knew we were there.
Yeah. We were like, hey, you.
There's someone near me.
Yeah, we're gonna be friends. Just you wait.
My first memory of you, Haley, I don't know if you're gonna remember this or not, but like our brothers would have baseball games. And like I just remember you being at the playground and like seeing you there and like kids your age and like that group. And I just remember seeing you there. But I don't think it really registered that we were like neighbors.
See, my first memory of you, Julia, is your mom came down to talk to my mom, and is when you guys had the minivan. And you parked on the side of the road. You were probably, like, 3.
What?
I was 5. And then your mom was like, Julia, go play with Haley. I don't even think Emma was there.
How would I have been 3 and 5? We're only a year apart.
I was 4.
Depending on the birthdays.
I was little.
And you remember this?
I remember it because I was like, oh my god, this new friend.
What?
And your mom had the minivan, and then they were just talking, and I saw the tree on the corner, that's where they were, and then we were just, like, running around my backyard.
I miss that tree.
Okay, so I kind of have a memory of, like, running around in your side yard, and we were really young, but I don't know.
That was the first time I remember you.
Oh my god.
I don't remember finding out that we were neighbors.
I don't know either, because I just remember, like, Janina, I just feel like once I started going down the street, and then it was like, Janina's right there, like, we all just hung out. I don't remember there being, like, a...
And I went to pre-K with your brother, too, and, like, I never knew that you guys lived around the corner.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember when I found out, though. It just
I wish
happened
was, like,
one day.
us just, like, sitting in your tree.
Oh my god.
I miss that tree.
But no, that was the main thing that I remember about just, like, elementary friendships. It's just, like, either, for Julia and I, our brother was in Janina's grade, so that's how we knew each other. But it was just, like, moms and, like, whatever your social status was, like, that was who you were friends with. And it just kind of stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things I was thinking about was, I guess, later in elementary, but still with the swim team. Like, I hung out with people through that because...
Yeah.
Over the summer, you're just swimming every single day. Elementary's hard because you're not at the age... I feel like everyone hung out with everyone in the grades, but still it was...
That's true, because then in middle... I mean, I guess we can transition to middle school, but in middle school, like, that's where it started to get cliquey, because that's one of the things I wrote down, that was actually, like, the first time I remember growing apart from certain friends, and, like, being sad about it, too. One of the people... I thought was, like, going to be my best friend forever. And, like, by the end of middle school, we, like, just didn't talk anymore. And we were in different cliques. And it's sad that, like, that happens. Because, like, when we were little, we were so inseparable. Like, it was a problem. Like, we were on different soccer teams. The coaches knew they couldn't put us out together at the same time. Because we would just stop what we were doing and just talk to each other. Like, that's how close and inseparable we were. And by the end of middle school, we weren't friends. Like, we didn't even talk. So... that was, like, I remember being sad about that, and, like, that was the first I remember growing apart from someone, which it's, like, that's so early in life to, like, have such awareness like that, and be like, I miss you, and, like, miss being your friend, and, like, I'm really sad about that. Yeah. But I also wrote down that I remember having tons of sleepovers with my friends. Like, that was, like, prime... Like, elementary school and middle school was, like, prime sleepover era, and, like, we would just show up with sleeping bags and our little dollies, and just... have a good time.
Are you thinking about our sleepover?
Yeah. We were eating pickles. Do you remember that?
We had a jar of pickles.
We were eating a lot of pickles. And peanut butter.
Yeah.
Why?
Trying to live out the Parent Trap thing.
Yeah. Hannah Montana. Did they do that in Hannah Montana?
Probably.
I don't know.
I remember
don't like
that
pickles.
sleepover so built up. We were, I
don't
remember
like
that
pickles.
sleepover so built up. We were, asking for ages. And finally, we're like, yes, we're having a sleepover.
Because I'm not a sleepover person. I, really don't like sleepovers.
I don't know. I have a hard time trusting people. No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just love my house.
I used to love sleeping over when I was younger, but now I'm like, I just want to be in my bed.
But Julie and I made these, it was like a tent out of her bunk bed.
Oh
and
my
we were tying
God.
up these blankets and doing parkour, jumping off the bed, and
Very
watching The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh
Did
my
you put that on?
Of course. But I was going to say about elementary school, those were my first real friends, because not only are you spending the whole school day with them, you're also, as we talked about, going to practice with them. So literally majority of your day is spent with those friends and not your parents. You see these people more.
Yeah.
And you're experiencing life at the same time next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of said that, but with high school people more so. Because I feel like I spent way more time outside of my house in high school versus elementary and middle. I mean, yeah, but
I think
there's
there's something unique about middle school because, you're getting a crush on a boy for the first time and all the other girls are going through the same thing.
Yes!
And it's
I'm so glad you brought that up. I made a comment on that.
Oh, yeah, I feel like that's when you first really get to bond.
Yeah.
You start going through the same, that's oh my God, did you see so-and-so? They were looking so cute today. Or oh my God, girl, how could you think he's cute? I think this one's cute. Getting gossipy.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I had said is, middle school, or it kind of transitioned because the crushes on people, I feel like that's what kind of started to divide. It's just crazy because I also think that's where a lot of the drama came from too, because it was
who likes
everyone
who
liked
and whatnot.
everyone, there was always that one group, it's everyone has a crush on that kid,
and everyone has crushes on each other.
Yeah. So messy.
And fake middle school relationships.
Yeah.
And the Ask FM.
Oh my God. People would bully me on that.
It was the perfect match in 7th grade. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I wish I still had my screenshots from that stuff.
That was a time.
I think that middle school is created a baseline for a lot of my friendships.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm super close to all these people now, but that was where you really had your people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'll agree. And I wrote down sports too, and feel different sports have different friend groups, but my swimming friends, I still talk to some of them to this day, or reach out every now and again, and I'll get into this later. I feel my generation is kind of weird. Anyways, but sports friends were so nice because we just went to school together all day. Or one of my best friends still now, we were in school together forever, did soccer together, so that was just a whole new level of friendship. And we actually got our other bestie to be our team manager, and she was yeah, I'll count that because that'll be volunteering, so I can brag about that, because she was always 10 steps ahead of everybody. So yeah, sports I feel also help you bond with people in a different way, because learning that skill, first of all, sports are skills, and there's so many different micro skills that go into that. Just going through all that together and mastering it and learning from each other and whatnot, that unlocks a whole new level of friendship too.
Yeah. And also when you're a teammate and you're doing these carpools, or you're getting lunch at someone's house before you go to practice, those friendships are so intricate because you meet their parents, you meet their siblings, you know their pets, you know everything about this person.
Yep.
Which I think, I don't know, I find the middle school relationships are more personal.
I had more of that in high school, but
that's how I felt.
They would hear me sing in the car. No one else has really heard that. You know what I mean?
Okay, because I said that with sports, it kind of brought me to see a different group of people, because all my track friends were so different from the people. It was crazy because when I got into high school, my middle school friend group kind of separated so much because everyone went to different schools. Mm-hmm. So you were kind of forced to find new people.
I wonder if other towns or areas do that as much as ours.
Because it's think so.
It's very much a thing, especially in our town.
Because nobody wants to go to our public school.
There's so many Catholic high schools around in the area that the parents could send them off to.
And then the gifted schools, the academies and everything.
Yep. And then the rest of us just went off to public high school.
Yeah.
But the public high school that we went to was so big. Our classes were anywhere from 450 to 500, maybe even a little more than 500 kids. Yeah. That's a big high school. That's 2,000 kids. Come on now. That's a lot.
I try to explain to people that, I just meet the size of our high school. I'm yeah, no, there was, a bridge connecting, 2 blocks of the schools. And they were what? I was like, yeah, and there was like a lot of floors, and there was like
the high school got so big they had to buy the old elementary school and then build a bridge together to accommodate, and it still almost wasn't enough.
Talk about shock from our small town too. Like, you go from the most small life.
Literally, our town middle school, I tell people this every time because they don't believe me. We literally had an up staircase and a down staircase. And if the teachers caught you going down the up staircase, they sent you back up the stairs, over the hallway to go down the other set of stairs. Why?
Control.
Why? Literally, in what other area of the world do I have to take a specific set of stairs? Besides the point. So we went from that to freaking like, it was like the land of the free, no laws. Like, that's how it felt.
Imagine you were from the town next to where we went to high school, even smaller.
Yeah.
Even smaller. They had like 60 kids in their grade.
Yeah. And then only like 20 of them go to the school because so many of them go to other schools.
Yeah. Like, so I feel like we were a little bit better off in that way because at least we had a bigger grade.
Yeah.
But still, we did go to school with each other.
And like our town just didn't have its own high school, which was a reason why a lot of these kids went in like all their separate ways.
But I'm so glad that we went to a regional high school where there's multiple people.
Me too. It was a wake-up call. Yeah. Like, life is not like our middle school in the slightest. And like, I feel like everyone that went to that school versus going to other schools grew a lot more as a person, an individual, and I would probably argue that we saw more things.
If our middle school had a high school, the amount of drama would be...
Yeah.
Because this town is so nosy, and everyone knows everything about everyone.
Yeah.
And it just would have been, like, chaos.
But, like, going to that other school that we did, like, there was fights that would happen. Like, we learned to, like, shut our mouths and not be as gossipy and as dramatic and problematic because someone could come after us. I feel like we're going on a tangent now about the school. Anyways, back to friendship. I feel like what you guys were saying about middle school, I started to experience in high school. Like, I feel like my middle school friendships, at least in school, were pretty surface level still. And in high school is when I feel like I had more of a foundation set for friendship. But I was also taking the bus with them. Then we would just hang out for 30 minutes before class would start. And then we'd go through the whole school day together, have lunch, go to sports and whatnot, and just be texting after school. Hey, now we're in the same classes, actually, because we're signing up for them together. So, like, did you get this homework assignment? Can I see your notes? Can we compare notes? Can we study together? Oh, let's work on this project together. Like, we were just together way more.
Yeah.
And so, like, the bond really solidified, and I just remember having so much fun. It was just pure, innocent friendship and just having fun and enjoying each other's company together, no matter how stressed out we felt from school. Like, we knew we were each other's safe spot without ever even saying that. And, like, without ever even, like, truly knowing that at the time, but, like, looking back, like, that's what that was in our group and our energy. And I also, disclaimer, I didn't go to school with you at all, because by the time you were in high school, I was already out, and we only had 1 year together. So high school was also so different, because we feel like we didn't really see each other as much, because I was so busy once I got into high school with everything I was doing, which kind of sucked. I would be sad that I wasn't seeing you guys.
There was, like, a long lost period.
Yeah.
Not hanging out, and that's just because I was busy. Like, I just didn't have the time.
Things going on.
Yeah, but so that was sad. And being in middle school, I already knew what it felt like to grow apart from someone. Like, I was sad because I was like, oh my god, is that going to happen with them? Like, am I just not going to talk to them anymore now that I'm busy? But here we are, so clearly not. Thank God. And oh my god, you go through your first breakups because now you're actually dating, and it's like semi-real relationships.
This is what I have to say about, because you saying that, I was going to say with high school friendships, I feel like they were so intimate because I spent so much time out of school. Like, you go to school, you go to practice, you're hanging out with people at their houses. But then, since people went to different schools, you're meeting all these people, like, who go to different high schools, and it's, like, crazy.
That's so interesting that, like, because I assume you also hung out at people's houses.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. I hung out at people's houses more in middle school because once we were in high school, everyone had a car. Like, we were just going out and doing things because we didn't have that freedom in middle school.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was at people's houses in middle school, and then in high school, we were just exploring.
I was so busy. I only hung out with people in doing something. Like, we only hung out through swimming, or we only hung out through soccer or through at school, because on the weekends I was working or doing homework or just sleeping because I was so exhausted with how much I was doing. Like, in high school could be its own episode. Like, I could do a solo episode about everything I was doing. It was a lot.
But I think that's what I liked about high school, is because, like, I had people in so many different places.
Yeah. And I liked that too.
I don't know about now with college. That's a whole different thing with friendships. So much harder, I think, now.
Yeah.
But in high school, I felt like I could be chaotic and crazy and, like, myself with any of these people, any of these different groups, and it didn't matter. And it was like, you didn't have to worry about, oh my god, I need to make this friend, or I need to be doing this.
What I like too is, like, it was always me being authentic and being myself, but they saw a different side of me because of what we were doing together.
Yeah.
Like, my school friends never saw the same personality that I had at swimming, and vice versa. Like, my swimming friends would never know how serious and smart I am in school, because I was just, like, the fun kid to be around, and we would talk about our day and, like, gossip and whatnot.
But did you ever have a dilemma of, like, oh, I'm meeting all these new people in high school, but I don't want my middle school friends to think I'm forgetting about them? And, like, I know for the first half of high school, like, I made it, like, every month or so, me and my middle school friends would plan a hangout, but it became one-sided very quickly.
Yep.
So I feel like that was weird. Like, you have to let go of middle school friendships because your life changes and maybe you're not you're not fit each other anymore.
I had to let go of them at the end of high school. I have my middle school friends all throughout high school still, and I'm blessed. But that's because, like, we were all taking the bus. Like, all of us would either take the bus or get dropped off so early in the morning, and we would just hang out with each other before the day actually started. So you know how we had free time?
Yeah.
And then always having lunch together, always hanging out after school. Like, we just never grew apart. Like, and we didn't want to either. Like, I wasn't super interested in, like, making all these brand new friends. Like, I definitely wanted some comfort and stability and reliability. Like, I didn't want it to just be all people that I've never met before and I can't trust you yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, granted, like, we did make some new friends, but we definitely kept it, like, that solid group to start. And then, like, we added a little bit more, but not too much. Like, it was kind of just, like, our middle school group. And what's funny is like, we weren't super close in middle school. In middle school, we were all in kind of different cliques, but in high school, we all came together. We were our own group.
See, like, my middle school group, we all went to the same high school, pretty much, most of us. But this little thing, having a different lunch period, I was on a different track, like, academically than most of my friends, so my lunch was never the same as their lunch. And then that kind of just made us, like, I mean, I'm never going to see you. I see you at the end for practice at the end of the day, but that's it. So it was like, I mean, it's hard.
That was so,
My friends and I are such nerds that we all had the same values, so we were in the same lunch classes, schedules, so that was nice.
So it became that those kids became my closest friends just because, I mean, we had a 20-minute lunch to share together, and that was it.
That was so hard.
Yeah, because getting, like, different lunch is totally out of your control, and you get one elective choice, and you never even get promised the elective that you want. And my one friend wants to do nursing, the other friend wants to do, like, writing, and I want to do photography. Like, we're not going to... there's no shared interest. But there didn't have to be a shared interest in middle school because we were just together all day anyway. But then high school, you have to, like, narrow
you start
down
to have more
path.
freedom,
Yeah.
I tried to stay in touch with my town friends that were at different high schools, but it's like, they obviously are going to make friends at their respective schools. And then it's so sad. I just remember seeing them like, oh, I miss you so much. And, like, you could try so hard, but then at the same time, because I'm guilty of it too, like, I made friends that weren't from our town. And then you start to, like, hang out with them more.
Yeah.
And I kind of do think back at that. I'm like, I wonder if they felt like I just left them, which it wasn't intentional, but it's just, like, part of life.
But it also goes both ways. I mean, you couldn't have done everything to save a friendship.
Yeah, it's true.
But it is weird when you start becoming friends with, like, people you didn't know, you didn't grow up with.
Yeah.
I had that in college.
And that's the other thing, like, I look back on silly drama and stuff, and it's like, the one thing I liked about high school, not that I liked drama, but there was something so silly and, like,
the drama was so pure.
Because you, like, the drama would be something so stupid, like, oh my god, who are we going to see at the basketball game?
Yeah.
Who's going to be there? And it's like, I just remember getting through the day at class because, like, oh my god, we're going to be seeing this, we're going to this game after school, we're going to go to this party, and it's like, you're mixing up all these crazy groups that never hang out together. And that's one thing I really do miss because it's just like, you never knew it was going to happen.
And elementary drama was so much more toxic because, like, you know the family line, you know the brothers and the moms and everything. So it's like, it's way more personal of an attack.
Like, and middle school drama was
because we were also together for too long.
Yeah.
And with how wide of the age gap in our school was, like, the older sibling might have been in school too.
Yeah.
Like, the drama's going around about them, like, it spreads to the younger grades. It's a small world.
Small town.
It's a small town.
One thing that I'm kind of grateful that I do, but I don't know. I feel like now I'm not scared to reach out to people from the past. Like, I know my sister would be like, Julia, why are you reaching out to that person? She's like, you have no reason to do that. But I don't know, like, I just love catching up with people, but it just makes me, I guess I'm just so nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, like, how you're doing, even though we don't speak.
Yeah.
Like, there's no bad blood or anything. We just grew apart for a little bit, but, like, I want to know that, like, you're good.
Yeah.
And, like, if we fit each other's lives again, hell no, like, why not be friends?
Yeah. Because there's some, like, you can never replace the friends that you made when you were little.
Yeah.
Because you just know so much about each other. Like, you can make a new friend tomorrow, but they're never going to know, like, when you broke your arm, when you were in crutches for a week, like, when your mom got sick, like, any of that, like, they'll never know about that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friends from growing up, she actually got married recently, and I, like, messaged her on Instagram, and I was like, I'm so happy for you. But also, like, looking back to when we were little, it was like, oh my god, like, 8-year-old me would have thought that I would have been at your wedding.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so crazy to know that 25-year-old me and you don't talk, but, like, I mean, we're still following each other. Like, I see you're married, and I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
But, like, us being best friends and totally inseparable when we were little, like, I would have thought I would have been, like, your maid of honor or a bridesmaid or something.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's crazy.
I always wonder if those people remember the same things that I do.
If there's one person I had to bet from, like, childhood that remembers everything just like me too, I would put money that it's her.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because in high school, like, for CCD, we had to write, like, a letter to someone that meant, like, the world to us, basically, and she wrote it to me.
Aww.
So, and I still have it. So, like, that's why I'm like, if I had to bet money on anyone, I'd be willing to bet money on her. That her and I both remember how close we were.
If you're not from our town and you don't understand the dynamic, I want to share that in 2nd grade, I was invited to my teacher's wedding, and I stood at the front while she said her vows.
I was invited to my first grade teacher's wedding.
Teacher was that? Yeah, I think I remember when students were doing, like, I remember hearing about that.
I was invited to Miss L's wedding.
Wow.
Or
You
vice
were?
versa. Mm-hmm. She was my first grade teacher. There's a picture of it, too.
No, I have a photo of me at my teacher's wedding, too.
Right?
Like, it just, like...
It's a thing that happened in our town.
Yeah. Everyone just knows everybody, and the relationships are so involved.
Mm-hmm. And, like, now that teacher's daughter is your sister's best friend. Like, what a small world.
Transitioning into college.
Mm-hmm.
So hard, I think.
My transition from high school friendships to college friendships was not the typical heartbreak because all of my best friends came to the same college as me. Literally, all of my best friends are at my college, and my other friends are like, everyone's close by, and everyone still stayed friends.
And you pulled solid friends from school, too.
Yeah, I did.
From the girls that you talk about, you love them.
My whole thing on friendship.
You made a new one. Like,
I did make a new best friend, but literally my solid friends from middle school, solid friends in high school, and my solid friends in college.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I never lost those friends, which is why I feel like I'm not giving much in this episode.
Oh
no,
like, I just have
but you can talk about how it's, like, changed or evolved throughout the years. Like, now that you're in college, you can reflect back on how it was different from the other time periods.
I guess that is interesting, but still, it's like, I think in college you have to work harder to maintain friendships because there's so many forces, like, pulling you
100%.
That's true.
And you're in different majors, you're in different buildings.
Yeah.
But, like, still, my best friend, we'd drive to school together.
Wow.
Like, we'd walk to class together, we'd be in the same wing, and be like, okay, I'm going here, you go across the hall.
Oh.
And that'd be it.
I was just talking about this with one of the kids in my class because you guys might not know this, but they won't know this. I've transferred 1 trillion times. So that's why I think it's, like, hard.
Yeah.
I haven't made, like, strong school friends, like, as in college. And all my friends that I've made in high school at different schools. So it's, like, it's hard to, you don't see them often. And my first year of college was COVID, so we weren't really meeting people on campus. Then I transferred. And by the time I get to, like, my next school, it's like, oh, people have established friend groups here. And then it kind of forces you to be, like, outgoing because you have no choice. If you're not outgoing, then
you're not making
you will not
friends.
speak to anyone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that scary?
It is.
I was lucky in my school, like the business school of my college, so small. So freshman year to senior year, it's the same 20 kids in my track.
Mm-hmm.
So then my one best friend that I made in college, she was like in my classes, and then I was like, hey, like I've seen you around for the past like 3 years. Do you want to be friends? And then she's been my best friend. So senior year was the best because I finally like talked to her, and then we like clicked instantly.
Yeah.
Aww.
So that type of friendship was cool in college because they're on the same track as you.
Yeah.
And they have the same interests, and we could talk about like articles that like my best friend from middle school that's a nurse is not interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I agree that college was hard to make friends. I remember being super anxious and nervous the first month of school. To be honest, the first week was the hardest. That was definitely when it took a lot for me to just like leave the house, but like I also had to go to class, so I ultimately did, but I was like so nervous to leave every day because it was just new people. I don't know, like I feel like at college is also where I started to get anxiety because I was just overthinking everything, so that wasn't fun. But I recently saw this video on TikTok, and it was just these two girls, like the one jumped into the other's arms and they like spun her around. And the text on the screen was, it's the girl you met from the first week of school, being like that's your BFF forever. And I literally sent it to my friend and was like, this is me and you as fuck. And she was coming from like a smaller private all-girls school, so like college was also a lot for her. And I was like, it just feels so weird to not be with my friends. Like I had been with those people for my whole life.
Yeah.
Like even though like in elementary school we weren't close because we were like hanging out with different people, through middle school and honestly by the end of high school it was really hard to say bye to them. I was so bonded. It was really hard to start over.
I was more emotional at my 8th grade graduation than my high school graduation.
Nah.
Oh my god.
8th grade, I was like, peace.
I was so sad about 8th grade.
I was
like,
so sad.
I was sad. I was sad that I wasn't going to school with that one person anymore. But it is what it is, you know. But high school, I was devastated. I remember like crying. Anyways, her and I are still besties. She's actually getting married this year, and I'm so excited for her.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So it's same major, so same classes, same schedule. So that also helped. And we also had the same career path. We wanted to end up in cosmetics, which I went to NJIT. Okay, like you can find that out. It's public knowledge. Our school like preps you a lot for like pharma, I would say, because a lot of kids go in that. But being like cosmetics is such a big hub in New Jersey, New York area, so we really bonded over that because we were kind of like one of the few kids in the class that like wanted to go that route. Yeah. So we would always, and like it was frustrating because the classes like don't necessarily prepare you for that. So her and I like bonded over things like that, and we were always watching the same makeup influencers, so we'd bond over that. And I remember, like, speaking of friendships, or I guess this was more of a post-grad, but I'll mention it now anyway. One of our favorite YouTubers is Nikki Tutorials. And I remember when her engagement video dropped, we, like, texted each other. And we planned to watch it together, and like we had champagne and like cheersed for her because we were just both that happy for her. Like we were best friends, and it felt like she was our third best friend too. Like
that's so real because I still send like Justin Bieber TikToks to my best friends from middle school because we were in that Bieber fever phase. Like,
you know what I mean? So, and we, like, did that pretty quickly. Like, within the first semester, we were on that level, which I didn't think I would, because, like, how could I get on that level with someone else when I haven't known you my whole life? You know what I mean?
You bringing up your bond over Nikki Tutorials reminds me of, like, there's a few people that I made friends with because of my job. And it's like, well, currently, too, with our job.
Oh, yeah.
But at DQ, when I used to work there, it's like, I'm still super close with all the people I met there. And if it wasn't for that, like, that's another thing. I guess when we get older, I don't know if you relate to this with your company or not, but, like, people say that they make their friends with the people they work with.
Yeah. It's who you surround yourself with.
I feel like I finally made my work friend, and then she left the company and got a new job, and I'm devastated. She's literally moving across the country. I'm like, what?
So I hope that, like, in the future I have a job where I meet people that...
I mean, your coworkers become your classmates, pretty much. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I have other work friends, too, that I keep in touch with. But her and I were the closest in age and, like, had the most in common and, like, the most similar personalities, so it felt way more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with my middle school friends, we all went to different schools. And I'll say that's when the group narrowed down to be, like, the three amigos. Like, I feel like we have a solid trio, and with my other two, that's another solid trio. And, like, it's a Venn diagram. Like, our trios can overlap in terms of, like, energy, but there's different things. Anyways, besides the point. So my one friend went to Rutgers, and I remember, like, I missed her so much freshman year that I actually had a really big gap. Like, I had an 8 o'clock class and, like, a night class, okay? Like, huge gap, plenty of time.
That's a horrible schedule.
I drove down to Rutgers to see her and
Aww.
hang out with her a little bit because I missed her that much. And I remember being so happy to see her that we were both crying when we were hugging each other. And it was so cool to see her dorm and, like, meet her friends. I was like, oh my god.
It's so weird to see your best friend in a different environment and, like, them being comfortable there.
Yes.
I know. I was like, I was also like, oh my god, I'm so happy and proud of you. Like, your life is going on. Like,
but it is crazy, like, visiting your house and, like, you live, like, this is where you do your thing. Yeah. It's so crazy.
Right? That's how I felt visiting, too. Because then, especially when she moved off campus and was, like, renting out houses with people, I was like, oh my god, like, you're adulting.
Yeah.
Like, you're figuring out where to live. Like, I would just have to go to my mom and dad for that. Like, you're just doing it on your own. Like, you're a badass bitch.
When I hear stories from my friends that live at their schools, it just blows my mind because...
But then you did it, too, because you dormed.
But it wasn't the same because I feel like, again, it was junior... Is it junior year? No, sophomore year. It's just like I had such awkward transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was at Pace, it's in the city. There were certain people that they were, like, going out doing the thing, but I kept coming home on the weekends, which I shouldn't have done. I regret doing that because there was things going on here with the few friends that are home. But I don't know. It's so just weird. But when I hear stories and they're talking about all these people that they're talking to and just, like, the crazy shit that's going on, it makes me so, like, what? What did I do wrong? Like, what is good with my brain that I didn't stick in a school? Like, I want to have that experience. And I feel like, well, it's too late now. Everyone's graduating, but it's just crazy.
It's never too late. School's what you make of it.
I know.
I feel like part of the reason I didn't make a lot of new, like, big friendships in college, not that I needed more than the one I made, but it's because everyone commutes at my school. It's a commuter school, so you're going to class, there's not really, like, spaces to hang out other than the cafeteria or the library. Everyone just goes home.
Yeah.
So there's not really, like, a bonding. I know a lot of people that live on campus were, like, way closer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, you're living with someone, but I think that's the reason that my college experience was a little different.
Agree.
Hard agree, because once I lived on campus, it was a totally different experience.
Mm-hmm.
By that point, I was also in a sorority, so I was living in my sorority house with my friends. Like, my roommate, the first year, was my best friend. She joined the semester after me. Her and I still talk to this day. Love her. If you're listening, I love you. And then the year after that, it was me and my little living together because I pulled her into the house. Like, I got her into the sorority. Like, of course I want to live with you. Like, that'll be so much fun. So, but that was also, like, a different dynamic. But then my friend, the other friend from middle school, her and I would, like, go to parties together all the time. So she was like, girl, I'm the honorary sister. We out to parties, like, just say the word. The people at the frats, like, knew her. Like, her and I followed the same people that we met.
That's funny.
That was a successful integration of one of my middle school hometown friends into my college life. Yeah. And everyone was, like, with it. That was, like, all my notes about college. Like, that sums it up. It's hard, but you make it work.
Yeah.
In short.
With, like, you know how schools will have commuter clubs and stuff like that? This is my bone to pick with that. I mean, I guess I can't judge too much because I literally never showed up to any of those meetings. But my whole thing is, like, I don't want to just be your friend because we're a commuter.
Yeah.
Like, I want to meet people out of fruition. Like, we have class together. Or I meet you in the hallway and we have a similar interest or something like that. And that's the thing that I think I lack, being a commuter, because I don't... Or especially in my program, because I'm with the same people in every single class. It's the same 30 of us every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to meet different people who do different majors and stuff, and I can't do that really.
So post-grad? Because I can get into that.
Yes.
Okay.
My post-grad was COVID. So what the fuck? Okay. And that's my bone to pick. And I literally... Sorry. I literally wrote in my notes, we can post a screenshot, but it says, I don't know my friendship status with half the people I consider friends because of COVID and social distance. And I stand by that so hard because we graduated. I didn't even have graduation pictures with basically any of my friends.
Yeah,
I just had my solo grad pics because it was COVID. So it was like we were walking at different times. We were walking with our masks on. It was like, and by the time, like, if you if someone was walking in the morning and I was in the afternoon, they weren't going to wait around for me just so we could take pictures. You know what? And if I wasn't going to go there dumb early just so we could take pictures and meet halfway, to be honest. So I have no graduation pictures with any of my friends. So that sucks. I have some from when I had my grad party, but it's not the same as having them on like, my brother has pictures with him and his friends all dressed up with the fresh balloons, holding like their little thing after they sat there for hours. Like that's a bonding experience. Yeah. I didn't have that. I just had to stand in a room because they couldn't put chairs out because of COVID. Like, we just had to stand there and like single file walk through the thing with the mask on. Like, it was so like, I'm glad I did it, but like, looking back, like, it was kind of lame, but they were making the best of the situation that they could. So you just have to deal with it. And it just sucks that 2020 and 2021 are like the only graduation classes ever to have to deal with that. Yeah. Like, we're the only class that like basically didn't get celebrated.
Because that happened to you too for high school, right?
Yeah, but they ended up having like an outdoor graduation in July, but they separated in groups of 100. That was hilarious because they had a Google form that you can edit. So they sent the Google form out. And it was like, everyone said, okay, go in this section so you're graduating with all your friends. And then, of course, there's going to be some people that don't fit because there's only 100 people.
Yeah.
500 people a grade. And so there was like a kid deleting people's names, like putting their friends' names. And then they had to redo the whole thing. They're like, okay, now you can't edit it. Like, God, you had to just submit it.
That's their fault for trusting high school kids.
But yeah, Janina took my one best friend from first grade that we went to the same elementary school, middle school, high school, and college.
Wait, did she record the video?
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize that.
That was so cute. And I felt like a big sister moment right there because I've seen you guys grow up together and you've always stayed so close.
Yeah.
That, like, seeing you get to experience that was so cute. But, like, I don't know.
I guess I never registered, like, oh, who took that video?
Yeah, no, it was me.
I could put the video up on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my bone to pick. Like, and it's weird. Like, I don't know. Because, like, now it's been a few years.
Yeah.
So, like, are we friends? I don't know. Like, I still consider you a friend. Yes, and I would love to hang out with you.
You gonna reach out?
But that's what I'm saying. Is it weird? Like, what if they don't think of me as a friend anymore?
Some people, though, are weird about that. They're like, if you didn't text me in the last week, we're not friends anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's too high maintenance.
Well, then I guess there's only one way to find out. You gotta reach out.
Yeah. Because if they're, and I don't want to say needy like that as a friend, but like, if you know you need that level of effort from someone to consider them a friend, like, to be honest, I can't give that. I don't even text you guys consistently. Yeah. We have a podcast together. Like, we have to. But, like, literally yesterday, I didn't respond to them till, like, 10 o'clock at night. Because I just wasn't on my phone. And we had plans to hang out. Yeah, that's what it is. And so, but I come back, like, full swing, like, nothing happened.
No, Janina will come back after a week and then just respond to, like, all 20.
All the messages. That she missed. But I come back, I pull through, okay? Yeah. Like, I don't know, that's how I look at it. And I'm like, I'm giving you what I can. And if that's not enough, like, I hope that you would let me know. Yeah. Or, like, that I need to step it up. But also, at the same time, if a friend needs more energy and effort from me, I just, with where I'm at, like, I can't give that. You're busy. Yeah.
But I think that it's good in your 20s, like, friendship as a whole, that we're kind of old enough and mature enough to communicate our needs. Like, I have one best friend that lives far away right now, but she's always talking to me, and she's like, oh, I'm going through a hard time right now, like, can you be there for me? And, like, that's how we, like, balance that. But, like, in high school or middle school, you might not know how to communicate your feelings that well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I wrote down is life is just so busy, it's so hard to get together. Like, with my other trio friends, we literally have to make plans, like, a month in advance to, like, get together and, like, it's like a save the date. Okay, we're doing this. Okay, where are we going out to eat? Like, we plan it out the closer it gets. But it's like, okay, we're all free on this day, bet we're doing something. We just don't know what that something is yet. Yeah. Whereas, like, we're pretty good and can, like, plan something within the week, let's say. You know what I mean? You just have to, like, I don't know. It's all about meeting each other where you're at. Like, and because I feel like you guys also get it. Like, you're like, okay, she's working a big girl job. She's taking care of a dog. She has to commute for hours. Like, she's got to cook. She's got errands to do. Yeah. Like, I'm adulting. I hate it. And I get, like, I don't know, like, you're gonna go out and hang out with your boyfriend, too, and, like, go do whatever. You're gonna go hang out with family plans and, like, go do whatever. So, like, I feel like we're all
we all have our own lives outside of this, but we make it a priority to stay.
And I feel like friendships like that thrive because, I don't know.
You're not relying on someone else.
Yeah, like, being dependent on someone else for... your happiness, quote unquote, in that regard, like, oh, that puts so much stress on both parties, I feel like. Because then the other one feels like if they are busy and don't get back to you immediately, it's like, oh my God, are you going to freak out?
Yeah.
Like, or you're not going to view me as a friend anymore?
Yeah.
Like,
which is so middle school.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be your whole own person, and your friends are, like, an added benefit to that.
Yes. You add just only good vibes to each other's lives. And no drama,
your
no
friends
nothing.
shouldn't be stressing you out or making you cry or, like, giving you anxiety if they're not answering.
You should be able to be, like, your whole self
too old
around
for that.
them. Yeah. So that's what I had wrote down. And that's how I feel. You guys will feel differently because you didn't graduate right in the heart of COVID.
Yeah, I had a good graduation.
Yeah. Your video was so cute. But throw it up on the pod.
I will. I feel like my life is, like, no drama.
That's a good life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't really have a dramatic life. Just fucking COVID. It's really sad to know that I don't have pictures of my friends at graduation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have one, Alec and I, because we walked at such different times.
Wow.
Like, that's sad. Like, that's my boyfriend, and we'll probably, like, get married one day, and we won't even have a college graduation picture together.
Do you know what me and Chris always talk about? You know when you go down the shore and you have all those beach houses that have their college flags on it? We're like, we have the same flag.
Oh,
You guys can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have the same flag.
Yeah. We need beach houses together. 3 in a row.
Please.
Oh, you can't contribute to this. You're still in school. I was like, why
You're
isn't
in your
Julia
20s
saying anything?
Wait, what is that?
Just like friendship post-grad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had separate notes for friendship in your 20s.
Oh.
So we can just get into that, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I had said before how in high school it was easier for me to not worry about how I acted, kind of. In a way that, like, I could be outgoing and not worry, like, oh, she's weird or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I feel like when I meet new people, I'm more reserved.
Oh.
And I hate when I do that. Like, not that I'm not willing to go up to people and say hello, but I'm nervous to be like kind of crazy because I'm like, oh, what if they think that that's too much or something like that?
I feel the opposite because I'm just like, well, if they think I'm too much, then they're not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also...
But not in a bad way, just we're different people,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
I think when I was growing up, I was scared to, like, say hi to people that, like, I knew of them, they knew of me, but now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm gonna say hi, I'm gonna like their Instagram post. Like, who cares, actually? Like, we're too old for the little anxieties about friendship. Like, you just be a nice person.
Yeah.
So I think that's changed, like, my approach to people. I'm like, we could be friends. Like, not every friend has to be a best friend, but, like, we can be friendly and we could talk to each other. Like, I don't have to be scared to talk to you.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with just talking to people.
Yeah.
Like, worst case, you never see them again.
Exactly.
Because, like, I don't know. Like, I talk to people in New York when I'm walking past. You know what I mean? Like, I'll probably never see you again. No ill will. Just vibes. Like, we just vibe for each other out for, like, 5 minutes. Like, hope you have a good day, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. You too. That's it. You know? Like, that's so pure. Friendship in your 20s changes as the years go on because you just go through... There's so much life that happens in your 20s.
Yeah.
Like, it's very pivotal. Like, you're becoming an adult. You're finding out who you are. You're graduating school, you're getting a job, you're finding out what you want to do, you're moving out, you're making new friends, you're switching jobs, or you're getting jobs, or you stick with one job and you're getting promoted and whatnot and working through the ranks. You're saving up to buy a house or a car. Like, there's so many different things going on. And it's so important, like, everyone says it, but it's so important not to compare yourself to others. And you just have to, like, be happy for your friends where they're at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone is where they're meant to be, and that's okay. And it's so beautiful that you're still in each other's lives.
Yeah. Because,
so, like, look at how many people you've grown apart from over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, damn, but, like, we're still friends. And, like, we're still together. Like, one of my best friend's birthday was recently, and I was like, girl, we've known each other for 14 years now.
Crazy.
And she was just like, oh my God, that's hot. Like, not everyone can say that about their friend, or like people can say that, but they're in their 40s because they're talking about someone that they met in college.
Yeah.
This is someone I've met in middle school. Like, we've gone through life together, and we will just go through life together at this point. You know what I mean?
That's something, though, I need to work on, because since I'm being home and, like, I see my friends, I feel like I'm missing out on, like, things that I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain interactions and things I feel like my friends would say, oh, I know. That's what, like, I need to work on it.
Because, like, you're still in school. Do you really want to move out right now? And where are you gonna
but
move
I'll have
to?
friends who are like, oh, I'm planning to move out and do this, or like they're meeting all these people, going on dates, and I'm like, I feel like I'm a homebody and I need to be doing things with my life.
You don't have to.
But you don't have
just
to.
Because they're doing it.
But I feel like I'm missing out on like these experiences.
If your body isn't making you do that and bring you to those experiences, it's not what you want.
You know.
You only want it because you're doing it.
Exactly.
But I feel like if I were in that position, I would be doing it. I would enjoy it. It's just that like I don't know.
If you wanted to, you would.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll leave it at that.
I do think about like in the next like 5-10 years, like everyone's gonna be married and having babies, and like I wonder how that's gonna affect things. But I don't really think it'd be that different. Because, like, I see my older cousins. My family's very close. My cousins, they're all in their, like, 30s, and they're together every week.
Yeah.
So it's, like, it can't be that hard.
You just make it work.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way, you know?
If someone wants to be in your life, they will.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And I don't know. Look at me. Voice messages go a long way. If I haven't texted you guys in a few days, I'll just send you a long voice message about what I've been up to.
Yeah.
So, if there's a will, there's a way. And, like, that's my way of, like, meeting you where I'm at. And, like, I like voice messages because you hear the voice, you're not just reading a text and interpreting it how you're feeling at the moment. Because if you're having a bad day, like, you can misinterpret something.
Yeah.
But, like, hearing someone actually say it, like, you hear the excitement in their voice, or, like, the sadness in their voice if they're having a bad day, or the stress. Like, the other day I was like, guys, I just want to rip my hair out. Like, and it's only 1 o'clock right now. Like, what is going on? My coffee sucked that morning.
I'm a bad texter, and so that's a good point. Maybe I should do that.
I'm a bad texter, and I'll admit it. But I'll send a voice message. I think that makes up for it.
I've been told that my messages come off, like, rude.
Oh.
So if I ever do that to you guys, sorry.
No, I never get that vibe.
Because I always, like, let's say you said, hey, Julia, let's go get coffee next week. I'll be like, yeah, sure. That's how I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No,
Everyone's like,
sure.
Julia, you sound like sure means you're not interested. And you're just like, oh, sure.
No, I literally read it in your voice, like, just like
but in my head, I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, let's go. Or
because I read it. I read our messages like if we were hanging out right now.
Yeah. Well, you think that other people do that.
Their brains are different. I don't know if you guys listened to the latest Call Her Daddy episode, but she was talking about friendships and how to, like, be a good friend or be a better friend, or just friendships, like, in your 20s right now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like kind of like what I took away from that episode was as you get older, your friends kind of become your therapists in a way. Because she was like when you're in high school, you can project how you're feeling onto your friend about a certain situation, or even in early college, it's, oh, drop that boy, he's just using you, or he's cheating on you every weekend and you deserve so much better, like, just leave him, just drop him.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, now in her later 20s, she would approach a friend going through that situation much differently, just being like, okay, he's doing this, but how do you feel? What's going through your mind? Like, why could this be happening? Like, blah, blah, blah. And just focusing on them and how they're feeling versus projecting what you would do onto them. Because sometimes, and she said this too, she was like, sometimes people don't want the fucking advice. They just want someone to fucking listen to them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that is so true, because I've been in that position where it's like, literally just shut up and just let me rant. Mm-hmm. And we can go do something together after this, because I just needed this off my chest, and I trust you and I know you'll listen.
I hear that, but at the same time, I feel like they just want what's best for that person.
Yes, but because I had this same situation before with one of my friends, and I just started to ask, do you want me to listen, or do you want my unsolicited, honest advice? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to hold back a little bit with my advice and not be so brutally honest and, like, soften it up a little? Like, I started to ask, because I would definitely come across like that and be like, no, you have to do this. Like, why aren't you doing this? I'll block him right now. Give me your phone. I have no problem blocking people for someone else, especially, because I'm like, I'm not in the situation, though. I can see how bad they are for you, but you're the one emotionally involved and tied up in them.
Because people are never going to see it when it's there.
Exactly. So, and in hearing that back, I saw myself in being like, no, you have to do this, and, like, projecting. And I was like, oh my God, am I a good friend? Well, like, it really got me thinking. I was like, oh my God, like, I have to look out for that and make sure I'm not doing that still, because I definitely want to outgrow that. Like, I don't want my friends to think of me that way. I want them to know that I'm a safe spot and they can just come to me to listen if they need to.
I used to get very involved in my friendships, like, drama, like, in the way of trying to be there for them, but You just realize that they're their own person, and no matter what you say, they're gonna do their own thing.
Uh-huh.
So right now, like, I don't listen.
You
really,
can only go so far.
Yeah.
I'll listen, but I'll ask if, like, do you want me to give advice? And how much advice do you want?
It's just like a waste of energy on your... Like, it could be so draining to listen to someone complaining to you all the time. It can be. And, like...
If it's all the time, I agree. Because I don't like people that complain a lot. But... Like me having a bad day the other day, that's different.
That's totally different.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in that, like
but when it's repetitive,
when it's like all the time, like there are like there's professional people that you could get this help from, and I'm not qualified. But
some people don't even listen to them. It's like there's a girl in my class who would say the most, going through some crazy shit, and I obviously don't know her that well, but I was like, listen, I don't know if you want to hear this from me, but like this sounds like a really bad situation. Like you should get out of it. Mm-hmm. And I even said to her, I'm like, I'm sorry if you think that, like, maybe I'm not the person to say that. I don't want it to come off rude. But it's like, how many times are you going to say that you're going through, like, this shitty thing, someone's treating you really bad? And then after a certain point, I knew she didn't, like I said that one time, she didn't take it. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah. Because it's terrible.
I've definitely set that boundary before, too, once it got too repetitive. Because then it gets to a point where it's like, are you going to do something about it or not? Because you keep bitching about this, but you keep letting yourself go through this. Like, it's your life. You have the power to, like, not let this happen to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know what it's like to be, like, tangled up or feel like you can't leave a situation, but you can't get mad at your friends for telling you what's the best for you. Like, you know in your heart probably, and I'm sure it's hard to get out of whatever situation you're in, but you know that your friends they have your best interest in their heart. So.
Yeah, they wouldn't be telling you it. Yeah. If it wasn't for you. Yeah. The thing is, like, that me, I want someone to tell me. Yeah. Because I don't want to feel like I'm making a fool of myself.
But the good thing about friendships in your 20s is they've gotten to this strength where you could say something really that hurts your best friend's feelings, but you guys have been through so much together that you're like...
They know...
You know they wouldn't do something to intentionally hurt you, and you can have a fight and get over it.
They're keeping it real with you. Because, like, you could go to anyone else in the world and they can lie to you, but you should be able to know your best friend's going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts.
And they'll know that it might cause a fight, but they know that's still the best for you.
Mm-hmm. Or if it does hurt, it's like, okay, but, like, you can cry on my shoulder, I'll have the tissues, or the box, like, the bottle of wine, the ice cream. I meant to text you guys the other day. Because I went on Friday night to grab my weekly bottle of wine, and I was like, I can't believe they haven't done this yet.
I have a bottle of wine upstairs, actually, if you want it. It's been in our fridge. Oh, sure. It's unopened.
Okay.
It's white, though.
That's fine. Okay. I got pink Moscato this time from Yellowtail.
This is our friendship.
I got to the
off
point.
Topic here.
Yeah. I definitely recommend that you guys listen to her episode.
Yeah, that's funny that's on like the same timing as us.
Wait, whose episode?
Call Her Daddy. Yeah.
Oh. Did you say that at the beginning or right now? Oh my god.
Like right now.
Oh my, okay, where was I?
I don't know.
Blanking.
That's when I was mentioning, like, her advice was basically, like, as you get older, like, start focusing in on how your friend is feeling in whatever they're going through versus, like, just projecting what you would do onto them. Because ultimately, you're two different people. Yeah. And that's why you're friends, too. Like, they're going to look at it in a different way from you are. And it's also their life, so they have to do it.
Exactly. You can't make your friend do anything. They're gonna do what they want.
Vice versa. Your friends shouldn't expect you to do something they're saying just because they said it.
Yeah. Because no matter how close you are, there's a lot that other people will never know.
And that's exactly what she said. She was like, they are living their life. You do not know exactly what it is like. Like, she can tell you, and you could have gone through something similar, but it is still her going through that in this moment. And it may have taken you 6 months or 4 days. It's going to take her a separate amount of time. Like, you're two different people. You can't expect her to get through it in a month if you did. She could take 6 months. Exactly. But you should be there for her through that until she's over it, because you went through that too. Like, she can lean on you for support no matter how long it takes. Like, but you'll be there and you'll watch her get out of it. Like, you know, in the same way that she had to watch you get out of it in yourself. And she couldn't even relate to you in the first time. I definitely recommend people listen to that episode after this one.
After you rate us 5 stars.
Exactly. Come on now. And after you follow all of our social media.
At theneighbors.pod on Instagram and theneighborspod on TikTok.
Yeah.
And submit a fun story for us to react to.
Yes, please. We haven't gotten.
We've been missing your submissions, guys.
Gosh, it was so fun.
Like, get back on that, please.
maybe our advice was shitty, but
maybe that they're like, you suck.
But write in something, or I don't know, ask about us. Clearly, we love to talk.
We love to talk. If you have any questions about our childhood, please
submit topic ideas. We'd love to talk about what you're interested in listening to, for sure. We've kind of hinted at it a few times now, so I think we're going to do it soon. Parasocial relationships. Yeah. That should be definitely, if not next week, the week after, I think. Well, you can hold us to it.
Okay, thanks for listening to this week's episode. Hope you liked it.
Yep. Bye, neighbor.
Bye, neighbor.